Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we bring you one of the season's most inspiring hits, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is the drama of a typical American. It might be you. It might be me. He dreams of glory. He lives in hope. He loves and doubts, and only Providence puts a final value on his service to humanity. Our story starts before the war, when life was normal, shortages were generally unknown, and simple luxuries were abundant. This is the story of George Bailey, citizen of Bedford Falls, New York. George Bailey, who more than anything under the sun wanted to see the world, the wonderful, exciting world that lay somewhere beyond the limits of his hometown. Oddly enough, this story doesn't begin in Bedford Falls. In fact, it doesn't begin anywhere in the world. It begins in heaven, where the superintendent of angels has just summoned an apprentice angel named Clarence.
Oh, I'm really going down to Earth, sir? Oh, how splendid!
Yes, there's a very discouraged man down there, Clarence. George Bailey. At exactly 10:45 p.m. Earth time, he'll be thinking seriously of ending his life.
Oh, dear, his life.
Now, I want you to stop him if you can. Now, sit down. I'll give you Bailey's case history.
Sir, if I should accomplish my mission, may I perhaps get my wings? I've been waiting over 200 years now. Well, people are beginning to talk.
Clarence, what's that book?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for
Oh, fine book. Excellent. Well, you do a good job on George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now listen. When George Bailey was a boy, two events occurred that you should keep in mind. One was when his young brother Harry fell through the ice and almost drowned. George saved him.
Brother fell through the ice. George saved him.
Ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear. Yes, sir.
The other event came a few months later. George used to work after school in Mr. Gower's drugstore. One day, Mr. Gower's only son died of influenza. It was a terrible blow, and poor Mr. Gower tried to lose his grief in whiskey.
Where you been, George? Mrs. Blaine's called twice. What happened to her prescription? You lost it, didn't ya?
No, Mr. Gower. Here it is.
Why, you good for nothing? Don't you know the Blaine girl's very sick?
Mr. Gower, my ear. You're hurting my sore ear.
I'll teach you to loaf, you lazy brat.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules.
Shut up!
I know you feel bad, but look, Mr. Gower, look. This butter used to make up the capsules, it's poison.
Poison?
Please don't hurt my sore ear again, Mr. Gower. It's why I didn't throw a vote, Mr. Gower. All I wanted was to make sure.
Well, Clarence, that was George Bailey as a boy. When he grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked for 4 years in the Building and Loan Association.
Building and Loan Association?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. George's father was in the building and loan business. He and George's Uncle Billy, high ideals and low bank accounts. Anyway, George worked for his father and saved enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe, get a job on a cattle boat, do a little traveling before college.
Boy, oh boy, it's hard to realize it's going to be my last night in the Bailey boarding house.
We're sure going to miss you, George.
I'm going to miss you too, Pop. Hey, what's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
I thought when you put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on you.
So did I.
I just can't understand a man like Mr. Potter. He can't begin to spend all the money he has.
Well, I guess Potter owns everything he wants in Bedford Falls, except our building and loan, and that's why he hates us.
Hey, George, can I borrow your tuxedo studs?
Yeah, help yourself, Harry.
Well, where are they? In your suitcase?
I'm not taking a tuxedo on a cattle boat, you know.
Say, where'd you get that suitcase anyway?
Oh, Mr. Gower, it's a going away present. Well, one of those days you're going to see that bag all covered with travel labels from Italy and Baghdad and Samarkand. And
Gonna have a pretty full summer, huh?
I'm going to have a pretty full life.
Hey,
why don't you come to the dance tonight?
What, be bored to death?
Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. Hey, I gotta hurry.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you.
Oh, we got that all figured out now, Pop. He'll take my job at the building alone and work for 4 years like I did, and then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
No younger than I was.
Well, maybe you were born older, George.
Huh?
George, when you get out of college, I don't suppose you'd come back to the building alone.
No, Pop. I just couldn't. I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in a shabby little office. Sorry, Pop. I didn't mean it like that. It's just that this business of nickels and dimes, I'd go crazy. I want to do something big. I want to do something important.
Well, you know, in a small way, we are doing something important, George. In that shabby little office, we help people figure out how they can own their own homes.
I know, Pop. It's just that I just feel that if I didn't get away, I'd bust.
You're right, boy. You get yourself an education and then you get out of here.
Pop, do you want a shock? I think you're a pretty great guy.
Well, thanks, George. I'm glad to hear it. Look, why don't you go over to Harry's dance? You'll have a good time.
I don't know. Maybe I will drop in. Maybe I will at that.
So George Bailey went to a dance. Is that important, Joseph?
It was at that dance that he met Mary Hatch.
Oh.
And 3 hours later, he was walking her home. George and Mary were feeling pretty good, Clarence. As a matter of fact, wonderful.
Buffalo
gals, can't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Hot dog!
Beautiful.
Boy, that was just like an organ.
At least.
Gee whiz. You know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18.
18?
Too young or too old?
Oh, no. Just right. Sort of suits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
Don't you know about deserted houses? First you make a wish, and then you throw a rock.
Oh, George, but it's such a lovely old place. I wish I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live in there as a ghost. Now watch this. Here we go. How about that? Pretty good shot. Broke a window, too.
What'd you wish, George?
Oh, I don't know. Not just one wish, Mary, but a whole hatful. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. I'm going to see Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum, and then I'll come back here and go to college. I'll see what they know, and then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories tall and bridges a mile long, and hey, Mary, what do you want? Huh? What do you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just give me the word, and I'll...
Okay, the moon. I'll take it. Then what?
Well, then what? Well, then you could swallow it, and it'd dissolve like an aspirin, and the moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers and out of the ends of your hair, and... You think I'm talking too much?
Yes. Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
What's that?
Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Now you come back here, I'll show you some kissing that'll curl your hair.
George!
Well, Billy, watch, I'm gonna kiss Mary.
Get in the car quick. Your father's had a stroke.
Oh, George!
What?
George, hurry.
Well, George's father died that night, Clarence. So, of course, George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, just as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan had a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor to Mr. Bailey.
I say as long as Peter Bailey's dead, let's dissolve the building and loan. We don't need it.
Now wait a minute!
No, you wait a minute. Peter Bailey was not a businessman. Ideals without common sense can ruin a town. What do we get? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class.
Now, just a minute, Mr. Potter.
I meant no disrespect,
No, you
George,
wait a
but-
minute there. Why he ever started this cheap penny ante building alone, I'll never know, but just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble that you're talking about, well, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. And, well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so because people were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling. That's what you're talking about. And this town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can borrow dollars in this town without crawling to you. Come on, Uncle Billy.
What happened, George?
Yeah, all we heard was a lot of yelling.
Boy, you should have heard George.
They're in there voting us out of business.
Who cares? I can get another job. I'm only 41.
45.
Hey.
Will you get out of here, George? You already missed your boat trip. You want to miss college, too?
No,
George, they've just voted Potter down. You're still in business. Oh, but there's one condition, George.
that?
They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Pointed me, but I'm going to college. Look, this is my last chance. Uncle Billy, he's your man.
No, George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter otherwise. No, they said so. They even...
I know. George Bailey didn't go to college.
That's right, Clarence. He gave his college money to Harry. Harry went instead.
Yes, but what happened to that good-looking girl? Mary.
Oh, George saw her now and then. Not very often, though, because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 years more for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. He could still see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields. Except when Harry came home, he wasn't alone. There was a girl with him, his wife.
George, dear.
Yeah, I'm out here, Mother. Just thought I'd get some air.
Well, how do you like your new sister-in-law?
She's swell.
Looks like she can keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, Ruth's father, he's got this wonderful job all lined up for Harry in Buffalo.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Well, that means that you can't... George, did you know that Mary Hatch was back from school?
Yeah.
Nice girl, Mary. Stop grunting. Give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary.
Well, Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about
She's
it.
not crazy about him.
Well, how do you know that? I mean, did she discuss this with you?
Besides, Sam's away in New York.
Oh, and all's fair in love and war. Huh?
Well, I don't know about war.
All right. I see. Okay, Mother. I think I'll go find that girl and do a little passionate necking.
George!
Oh, goodbye, Mrs. Bailey. And by the way, do you need anything from the library?
The library? George, you go and talk to that girl tonight. You go see Mary. Do you hear me?
George, is that you out there?
Oh, hello, Mary.
Well, are you coming in?
I just happened to be passing by.
Oh, I thought you were picketing. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
About what?
About coming in. Your mother just phoned.
My-
She said you were coming over.
My mother just phoned. What does she mean by calling? I just happened to be passing by.
Well,
Well, all right. I'll come in for a minute. I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here. The guy can't even go for a walk without... By the way, when did you get back?
Tuesday.
Huh. Where'd you get the dress?
Do you like it?
It's all right.
Well, no point standing here on the porch. Come on in.
Well, I still can't understand. I didn't tell anybody I was coming here.
Would you rather leave?
Well, no, I wouldn't want to be rude. I'll sit down for a while.
It's nice to hear about your brother and Ruth, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, don't you like her?
Of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, it's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about.
No. Marriage is all right for a lot of people. It's all right for Harry, Sam Wainwright.
For Sam?
You.
Mary!
It's George Bailey, Mother.
What's he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get
He's
water.
making violent love to me, Mother.
Oh, you just tell him to go right back home. Sam said he'd call you from New York, didn't he?
I guess so. How about some music?
Sure. Your mother needn't worry. I didn't come here
What
to...
did you come here for?
I don't know. You're supposed to be the one with all the answers. You tell me.
No, why don't you go home?
Well, I don't know why I came here in the first place. Good night.
Good night.
Just
Mary?
the way you're shouting, you think that
You
The telephone, Mary!
Right, I don't know.
Mary!
All right, I'll get it. George, on your way out, would you mind shutting off the phonograph?
I'd be very happy to. Doggone song.
Hello, Sam?
Mary, gee, it's great to hear your voice.
How are you, Sam?
Oh, I'm fine, I suppose.
I forgot my hat.
Hee-haw!
What?
Oh, I was just talking to an old friend of yours, George Bailey.
Oh, old Mossback George.
Old Mossback George.
Put him on. I'll talk to him too.
Wait a second. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George.
He does so. He asked for him.
Did you call me? Because if you did, I'm in a hurry.
Sam wants to talk to you.
Oh. Hiya, Sam?
Hey, a fine pal you are trying to steal my girl.
Wait, what do you mean?
No,
Nobody's
wait,
trying to
George.
steal anyone's girl here.
I
Mary,
wanna speak
take
to
the
you both.
phone.
I want to speak to you both. Tell Mary to get on the extension upstairs.
He says to get on the extension upstairs.
I can't. Mother's on the extension.
I am not.
We can both hear. Just put your head a little closer. There, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
Well, I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, you remember that time you told me about making plastics out of soybeans? Well, my
soybeans,
father
yeah.
checked into it, see, and he's going to put up a factory. How do you like that?
Factory.
Yeah, and here's the point, George. I may have a job for you, unless you're still married to that broken-down building and loan. Hey, Mary.
I'm here.
You tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime, you hear?
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
No. Now you listen to me, Mary. I don't want no plastics factory, and I don't want no job, and I don't want to get married to nobody, ever. You understand me? I want to do what I want to do, and you're not going to trick me, and you're... Mary.
George.
I love you, Mary.
Well, so George Bailey and Mary Hatch were,
Yes, George and Mary were married, and they started off on their honeymoon in Ernie Bishop's taxicab.
So, hey, where are you two going on this here honeymoon?
Oh, we're going to shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotel, the oldest champagne, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
So you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, eh? Well, then what?
Then what, honey?
Oh, after that, who cares?
Who cares? You know that does it, Mrs. Bailey. I haven't kissed you yet.
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look over at the bank. It looks like a run.
Pull over there a minute, will you, Ernie?
Let's not stop, George, please. Let's go right to the station.
No, just take a minute. I better just see what it is. I'll be right back.
George, please.
I'll be right back.
George!
In a few moments, we will return with the second act of It's a Wonderful Life. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Dad, look at all the money I saved from turning in soda bottles. What should I do with it?
Bring it to the Bank of Potter. We'll take good care of it for you.
Gee, Dad, I guess I better go to the bank.
Oh, no, son. We're going to take care of your money. We're going to put it where old man Potter can't get it.
What?
We're going to Idaho Central Credit Union.
But Dad, doesn't Mr. Potter own everything in town?
Not ICCU, son. You see, the credit union is owned by its members, not a greedy old man. Idaho Central Credit Union is your Potter-free financial institution since 1940. Do you understand, son?
I sure do, Dad. I'm going to Idaho Central Credit Union with my money. I want to be ICCU for life.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now we're going to have a brief message from our good friends at the National Mime Broadcasting Association. This has been a message from the National Mime Broadcasters Association. The NMBA would like to remind everyone here that a mime is a terrible thing to waste. And now back to our program. Thank you.
We now bring you Act 2 of It's a Wonderful Life. We're back in heaven again, where the superintendent of angels is reviewing the case history of a mortal named George Bailey. Clarence, the apprentice angel, is very eager to depart on his mission to the earth.
Poor George Bailey. Oh, he's certainly in desperate trouble, Joseph. I'll go to him at once.
Now you sit down, Clarence. Sit down. We're nowhere near the point where George Bailey is thinking of taking his life.
We're not?
Now, where were we? Oh, yes. George and Mary had started out on their honeymoon when they ran smack into the financial panic of 1932. In the waiting room of the building and loan, 100 frantic people were clamoring for their savings.
Wait. What's going on, Uncle Billy? What's happening?
It's
What's all these
a
people out
pickle,
here?
George. All I know is the bank called our loan an hour ago. I had to hand over all our cash.
Holy
The
mackerel.
whole town's gone crazy. Now, the bank's in the same spot we are.
Our charter too.
What about our charter?
Oh, our charter says we have to stay open till 6 p.m. and they can take away our license if we
How
don't.
can we stay open without any money till 6?
I don't know.
George, where are you going?
Out to talk to these people. Come on. Now listen, folks. Just a minute, please.
How about
Please.
our money, George? Where's our money?
Now, wait a minute. Now, listen. You're all thinking of this place all wrong. Your money isn't here.
Put it in there
Your
myself.
money is in people's houses. Remember, it's in the Kennedy house and the McLaren house and your house and 100 others. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to foreclose on them?
No, I got $240 in shares. Now let me have it.
All right. You'll get your money in 60 days.
What's 60 days?
That's what you
impossible.
agreed
I
when you
got
bought the
bills to
shares.
pay.
That's what you agreed.
I got my money. Old man Potter's taking over the bank. He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar.
What? No.
Let's take our shares to Potter. Half is better than nothing.
No,
Half.
folks, wait, please, wait a minute. I beg you, please don't do this. Please, if Potter gets a hold of your shares, he'll own the building and loan. And he's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got the department stores. Now he's after us because he wants to keep you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now, we can get through this thing all right, but we've got to stick together. We've got to have faith in each other.
Boy, I don't know how fate's
It'll
going to
work.
fix anything. I mean, I can't pay my bills on faith.
Listen. How much money do you need?
Hey.
We've still got some money.
Mary!
Here it is, George. You told me to hold on to it. Would have made a nice honeymoon. Bought furniture too.
Now, wait a minute, folks. Listen. I've got $2,000 here. All right. Now, Martha, how much did you need?
$240.
No, now, Martha, just enough to tide you over.
I said $240.
Okay, Uncle Billy, $240. All right, Beatrice, how much just to get by?
Could I have $17.50, George?
$17.50. Now you're talking. Harvey, how about you?
$20 will do me just fine.
Great. 17, 18, 20. Now, Uncle Billy, now pay that back whenever you can. All right. Okay. Who's next?
Look at the clock.
5, 4, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Hot dog, we made it at 6 o'clock. You should lock the door. Hey, look at this, Uncle Billy. We've even got $2.
All right,
Put those in
George.
the safe and keep them.
George, there's a call for you.
Okay, great. Then call my wife, will you? She's probably at my mother's.
Mrs. Bailey's on the line.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife, Mrs. Bailey. That's my wife, Mrs. Bailey. Give me the phone, will you? Hey, Mary, listen. Mary, I'm so sorry. Come home? What home? 323 Sycamore. Whose home is that? Mary, how? Okay, I'll be there.
Clarence, do you know what 323 Sycamore was?
Oh, don't tell me it was his mother-in-law's house.
Oh, no, not that bad. 323 Sycamore was the old Granville house, the one George threw rocks at and made wishes. Yes, sir, that's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started building a home. They were still living there 2 years later when Old Man Potter asked George to stop over at his office.
Sit down, George. Sit down. Have a cigar.
Thank you, sir.
Now, George, you're a young man, married, making, say, $40 a week at the building and loan.
45.
45. Now, if you were an ordinary yokel, I'd say you were doing fine. But George Bailey is intelligent, ambitious.
Thank you,
He
sir.
hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of town ever since he was born. But he's trapped.
I'm not trapped.
Trapped into frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George, or do I exaggerate?
Well, what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is that you're the only man in town who's bested me. George, I want to hire you.
Hire me?
Manage my affairs. I'll start you off at $20,000.
$20,000 a year? Are you sure? You're talking to me. I'm George Bailey. Remember the building and loan, George Bailey, remember?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, providing he has brains enough to climb aboard.
Well, sir, what about the building and loan?
Confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
No. No. The answer's no, doggone it. And if you offered me $1 million to stay around this town and play stooge to you, the answer would still be no. Now let me alone. Don't bother.
George, what did Mr. Potter want?
No, it was nothing. He just wanted to talk. Oh. Gee, Mary Hatch, why in the world did you go and marry a guy like me for anyway?
To keep from being an old maid?
I was going to see the world. I was going to build things, and I was going to give you the moon. What have I given you? What have I given you? Not even a new dress. Not for months. Gee whiz, I feel awful.
So do I. Mornings especially.
You know, you could have married Sam Wainwright or anyone else in this town.
Well, I didn't want to marry anybody else in this town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a decent honeymoon. I promised you that you're what?
My baby.
You're Mary, hot dog, Mary, do you mean you're on the nest?
Well, Mary had her baby, Clarence, a boy.
You don't say.
Then she had another one, a girl.
Well, what do you know?
Night after night, George had come home late from the office. Things weren't good with the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down on him. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then.
Oh.
But she still had time to help out in the USO. Uncle Billy sold war bonds, and George's brother Harry became a real hero, shot down 15 planes.
But George, what about George?
George was 4F on account of his ear. He was an air raid warden. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence, you now know almost everything you have to know about George Bailey, except what happened that finds him down there at this moment, wanting to die.
Well, sir? Well?
Today's the day before Christmas, Earth time. George is pretty excited.
Hey, Tilly, Eustace, look at the newspaper. Commander Harry Bailey, decorated by the president. That's my kid brother, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Gosh, George,
Hey, look at that,
gosh.
15 jet planes, and the last one he got was just about to dive into a transport loaded with soldiers. You know what that means? That means that he saved lives. He saved hundreds of lives. Oh, gee whiz, where's Uncle Billy?
He's gone to the bank, George. He's depositing that $8,000.
Oh, good, good. Who's that in his office there?
It's that man again, the bank examiner.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Carter. Hey, Tilly, will you get the books for Mr. Carter, will you? You know, that's my brother's picture there, Mr. Carter. Shot down 15 planes. What are they? It's about...
Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter, come to the bank to hoard some more loot, eh?
Out of my way, you old fool.
How'd you like the news in the newspaper there, Mr. Potter? Just can't keep those Bailey boys down now.
Let
can
me
ya?
see that newspaper.
Here you go. Sorry I can't chat, you old thief. I gotta make a deposit. Here you are, a deposit slip, a bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, you too, Mr. Bailey. Say, you've forgotten something, haven't you?
I've forgotten things my whole life.
But, Mr. Bailey, where's the money?
What's that?
Oh, you want to make a deposit?
Certainly, I want to.
Well, it's customary to bring the money with you.
The money, it's gone? Oh, where'd I put it? Where'd I put that money?
A terrible thing, Clarence, terrible. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded up in that newspaper he gave to Old Man Potter.
I just don't know what happened to it, George. I just don't know.
$8,000, Uncle
George,
Billy. The
what
bank
are we gonna
examiner's
do?
here. It's
We've
not
traced
our money.
every
It
step
belongs
I
to the
took.
depositor.
We can't stand here in the street.
Are you sure you didn't put the envelope in
I
your
think
pocket?
so. Maybe. I'm no good to you, George.
Now
I'm
listen,
no good.
think.
I
will you? Try and
can't think anymore, George.
Where's
think
the
anymore. It
money, you
hurts.
silly old fool? Well, you know what
George.
this means? This means bankruptcy and scandal and prison.
George, no.
One of us is going to go to jail, and
George.
it's not going to be me.
Oh, no.
You get out of my way. I'm leaving.
George, dear, what's wrong? You haven't said a word since you came home.
With all that banging on the piano, does she have to keep playing the same song over and over again?
I have to practice for the Christmas party, Daddy.
What is it, dear? Another hectic day?
Yeah, another red letter day for the Baileys.
Dad, the Murphys got a brand new coat. You should see it.
What's wrong with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
I'm sorry, Dad.
Run upstairs, Petey, and see if Zuzu's all right.
Okay, Mom.
Wait, what do you mean, see if Zuzu's all right? What do you mean?
Oh, she caught a little cold coming home from school. She didn't button up her coat.
Well, what is it? What do you mean, just a cold?
George, the doctor says it was nothing
There
serious.
was a doctor here?
Well, I thought he better look at her.
Well, it's this drafty old house. It's no wonder we don't all have pneumonia. It might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why'd we have to live here in the first place and stay around this crummy old town?
George, what's happened?
Everything's happened. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have all these kids?
Daddy, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. F-R-A... I don't know how to spell it. Ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Upstairs to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Now, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
I want to give my flower a drink.
All right. Give Daddy the flower, and I'll give it a drink, okay?
But my flower is losing petals. Look, Daddy. Paste it.
Yeah. All right. Now, how am I supposed to paste this together? Tell you what. Give it to me, and I'll keep the petals safe. How's that? Now, will you do something for me?
What?
I want you to try and get some sleep.
I'm not sleepy. Daddy, I want to look at my flower.
I know, but you just try and get some sleep, okay? And then you can dream about it, and it'll be a whole garden.
It will?
You bet.
Hello? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. I'm sure she'll be all right.
Now, who's that?
Zuzu's school teacher. What? Oh, yes, the doctor says she'll be fine tomorrow.
Here, give me the phone.
George, please.
Mrs. Welch. This is Mr. Bailey. Say, what kind of teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending Zuzu home like that half naked? You realize she'll probably end up with pneumonia because of your stupidity? You know, maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids in this town, but at least... Hello? Hello? Janie, will you stop playing the lousy piano? Just cut it out. Stop it.
George, for heaven's sakes, what is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Mary, Janie, I'm sorry. I've got to get out of here.
So, that's it, George. You're short $8,000 in your accounts, eh?
Please, Mr. Potter, please, I'll pay any sort of bonus if you still want the building alone. I'll even...
You say it was lost. Have you notified the police?
No, sir. No, I haven't done that yet. Please, Harry's homecoming tomorrow.
Why come to me? What about your good friend, Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What
sir.
kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
Yes, sir, yes. I have some life insurance here, a $15,000 policy.
What's your equity in it?
$500.
And you want $8,000? You once called me a warped, frustrated old man.
No, sir, no.
Well, what are you but a warped, frustrated young man, crawling on your hands and knees for help? Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so well? Ask them for help.
Please, I'll do anything, Mr. Potter. Please, just help me and my wife and my kids.
I'm calling the district attorney.
No, sir,
$500. No. You know something, George? You're worth more dead than you are alive. Now get out of here. Get out! And all that time, Potter had the $8,000 in his desk drawer. It's still there, Clarence.
But where is George, sir? Where?
Well, he went over to Martini's cafe. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just standing there, sort of in a daze.
Oh, God. God, dear. Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, God.
Oh, Mr. Bailey, you all right? Don't drink anymore, Mr. Bailey, please.
Bailey?
You don't look good.
Bailey? You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
This gentleman is Mr. Bailey, George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh? And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. It isn't enough she's slaves teaching your lazy brats how to read and write. You got a ball.
You get out of here, Mr. Welch. You hit my best friend. Get out.
All right, I'm going.
Mr. Bailey, you okay?
Who was that?
Mr. Welch. But don't worry, he don't come in this place no more. I get something for your face. It's a bleeding.
No, I'm all right.
Please, don't go, Mr. Bailey.
Leave me alone.
Oh, no, please, don't go this way,
Leave me
Mr.
alone.
Bailey.
Well, George left Martini's cafe 5 minutes ago, Clarence. He's at the river now, on the bridge, looking at the water. Are you ready, Clarence?
All ready, sir.
Very well. Save George Bailey's life, and you'll get your wings.
My wings? Oh, thank you, Joseph. George Bailey, get away from that bridge. Do you hear me? George!
We'll return shortly with Act 3 of It's a Wonderful Life.
We would like to take another moment to once again thank all of our wonderful sponsors for helping us out this year and making the show possible. We'd like to give another round of applause for our good friends at Idaho Central Credit Union. and the crazy folks over at Henway Poultry and Egg Company. By the way, we would like to welcome the president of Henway Poultry and Egg Company, who's here with us tonight. Please stand up and everybody give him a round of applause. He's affectionately known as the Chief Clucker, so I don't know what that means. And we'd also like to thank our friends over at Improv Underground who are desperately starved for attention. Give them a big round of applause. And once again, we'd like to thank our broadcasting partner, WKRP. If you're not listening to WKRP, then you're probably not listening to me. And on with our show.
Numb with despair, convinced as Mr. Potter said that he's worth more dead than alive, George Bailey stands on a bridge, staring at the dark and frigid waters below. Suddenly, there's a splash.
Help! Help! I'm drowning! Oh, help!
No, that's not George. It's Clarence, the apprentice angel. And there goes George in after him. A few minutes later, in the bridgekeeper's shack, George and Clarence are drying off.
You both sure you're all right? Want a doctor?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, I'm fine. It's just this underwear. I didn't have time to get anything more stylish. My wife gave me this on my last birthday, and, well, I passed away in it.
You what, mister?
Oh, I see Tom Sawyer's drying out, too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry, I brought Tom Sawyer with me.
How'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
Jumped in to save me?
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
Hey, it's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Well, it's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
Very funny. Very funny.
Your lips bleeding.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to prayer.
Oh, no, George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
How'd you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you.
Well, who are you supposed to be anyway?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody, AS2. What's the AS2 for?
Angel, second class.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. You may not need a doctor, but I do.
Well, cheerio, my good man.
Hey, look here. What do you want to come and save me for, huh?
Because I'm your guardian angel, George.
Ah, well, I see it. Well, you look about the kind of angel I'd get. Say, what happened to your wings?
I haven't earned my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
You don't happen to have $8,000, do you?
Oh, no. We don't use money in heaven.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Well, it comes in pretty handy down here, Bub. Of course, I found that out too late. You know, I'm worth more dead than I am alive.
You mustn't talk like that. Joseph will never give me my wings if you keep thinking that way. You just don't realize what you've done for folks. Why, if it hadn't been for you...
If it hadn't been for me, everybody'd be better off. My wife, my kids, and my friends, they'd all be better off if I hadn't been born.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
George, that's wonderful.
Wonderful? What?
The idea you just gave me. You got your wish. You've never been born.
I've never been born.
Exactly. No worries. No $8,000 to get. Nothing. You simply don't exist.
All right. So I don't exist.
George, I can do things. Strange things. I can show you Bedford Falls. The whole world, George. The way it would be if you hadn't been born.
No, wait a minute. This ear of mine. Say something else in my bad ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore. Oh, I don't think you're concentrating. Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. You're nobody.
That's the doggonest thing I've ever...
Your lips stopped bleeding, too.
Yeah. Say, what's happening around here? What is this anyway? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? You need a drink?
I don't know.
Come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Our clothes are dry, George.
Hey, so they are. Well, that's funny. Hey, look, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's and then, excuse me, I meant I'll stroll, you fly.
I can't fly. I
Don't have
my
your wings. That's right. I keep forgetting that one. A couple of drinks and we'll both fly.
What do you have, fellas?
Hey, where's the boss? Where's Martini?
Hey, look, wise guy, I'm the boss, see?
Okay, well, double scotch for me. Quick, will you?
And yours?
I was just thinking of a nice mulled wine.
Say what?
Heavy on the cinnamon and light on the cloves. Off with you, my lad, and lively now.
Now cut it out here.
Come on, just give him the same as my order, okay? He's all right.
Okay, 2 double scotches.
What about this place? It's all changed.
All of Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there'll be lots of things you've never seen before. Oh, good! Somebody's just made it.
Made what?
You see, every time a bell rings, it means some angel's just got his wings.
What'd you say?
Look, Clarence, I don't think you better talk about angels around
Don't they
here.
believe in angels?
No, I'm sure they believe in them. They just...
Then why should they be surprised when they see one?
Don't mind him, bartender. He's just a little fella, never grew up. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
Well, let's see. Next May, I'll be 293.
That's it. A couple of crackpots, eh? Go. Get
look,
here.
Look, where's Martini? Just go get
Stop
Martini.
asking for Martini. He ain't here. Hey, you, Rummy. Didn't I tell you not to come panhandling around here?
George,
Well,
look.
It's Mr. Gower. Mr. Gower! Mr. Gower, don't you know me? It's George Bailey.
You buy me a drink, mister? Just one drink,
Mr.
please,
Gower.
mister. Hey, Rummy, I'm throwing you out. Oh,
Bartender,
no, please.
that's Mr. Gower, the druggist.
That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. That's it. I'm throwing you 2 pixies out.
No.
Hey, look, boys. Somebody's getting wings. I'm giving out wings.
Get up, George. It's a good thing he threw us in this snowbank, eh?
Where's Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, you weren't there to stop him from putting poison into that prescription.
Well, what do you mean I wasn't there? Now, look, tell me, are you a hypnotist?
George.
Well, why am I seeing all these strange things?
Don't you understand? It's because you were not born.
Then if I wasn't born, who am I?
Nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity?
No papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance policy.
Zuzu's pedals, Christmas bell, It's funny, she gave me to keep in my pocket. And
They're not there either, George.
They're gone. Everything's gone.
But you've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like if you'd never been born.
You're crazy. You're crazy, that's what you are. And you're driving me crazy, too. Now, look, I'm going home. I'm going home to my wife and my family, and you understand me? And I'm going home alone.
Better not leave him alone, Clarence. Keep following him.
Joseph! Oh, I'll stay near him, sir. Oh, poor George. He's seeing Main Street now the way it would have been if he hadn't lived. The thing that's really shocked him, sir, is the building and loan office. Do you know what's there now? A pawn shop.
What's he doing? Can you see?
He's talking to Ernie Bishop, the taxi driver. He wants to go home.
You'd better tag along, Clarence.
Oh, I will, sir. I will.
Come on, step on it, Ernie. Get me home. I'm off my nut.
Where do you live, buddy?
Doggone it, Ernie. Don't you start pulling this stuff on me, too. 323 Sycamore.
323 Sycamore.
Yeah, hurry up.
Okay, buddy.
Susan's
All
sick.
right, calm down.
Look, Ernie, I don't know what's happened to me. I'm going crazy or something. I got some bad liquor, but look, tell me this now. You're Ernie Bishop, right? And you live with your wife and your kid.
You
down
seen
in
my
Bailey Park.
wife?
Yeah, I've seen your wife. I've seen her 100 times. We built your house for you, didn't we?
Look, buddy, my wife took the kid and ran away 5 years ago, and I ain't seen you before in my life, see?
Okay, fine, Ernie. Just step on it. Get me home, okay? Mary, Petey, Ginny, Suzu, where are you? Mary!
This is just an old abandoned house, George.
Where are they?
You have no wife, no children.
Where are they? What have you done
There
with
you
them?
are, Bert. Crazy, just like I told you.
Bert.
All right, up with your
Bert,
hands.
God, thank heavens you're here.
Now look, Why don't you be a good fellow and I'll take you to see a doctor?
Bert, now, Bert, listen to me. Listen. What's the matter with you guys? Now, listen, it's this little fella here. He says he's an angel. He's trying to hypnotize
No,
me.
I hate to use my nightstick, but I guess I... Ow!
Run, George, run! He can't hit you while I'm biting him! George, run! My teeth aren't what they used to be! Joseph, help! Joseph! Joseph!
Where'd they go, Arnie? Where'd they go?
I don't know, Bert. They just disappeared.
Clarence.
Oh, Joseph, I hope you don't mind my calling on you like I did.
It was very irregular, Clarence. You're by yourself again. Where's George?
He's, at his mother's house, sir.
Well, if George hasn't been born, he has no mother.
Oh, he's being very stubborn, sir. He'll just have to find these things out for himself.
But his mother, that's a terribly bitter blow to a man. His own mother not knowing him.
You mean I shouldn't have let
I
him go?
mean, you'd better find him right away. Oh, and stop biting policemen, Clarence.
Well?
Mother, it's me. Mother.
Mother, what do you want?
Mother, this is George. I thought for sure you'd remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, I can't help you.
Please help me. Please, something terrible's happened to me. I don't know what it is. No, don't close the door. No, please, something's happened to everybody. Just let me come in and keep me here until I get over it.
Get over what? I don't take in strangers unless they're sent here by somebody I know.
I know everyone you know. I know your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him?
Oh, sure I do.
When'd you see him last?
Today over at his house.
It's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong too.
I'm here again, George.
My mother, my own mother didn't even know me. If only Harry were here. If my brother were back from Washington,
Your
he could
brother fell through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. It's a lie. He's got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. Don't you see, George? You really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarence.
Yes?
Where's Mary? Please, where's my
I'm not
wife?
supposed to tell you.
Tell me where she is.
You're not going to like it, George.
Where is she? I'll choke it out of you if I have to. Now, where is my wife?
The library.
Tell me.
She works there. She never married, and she's just about to lock up for tonight. So George, come back. Oh, there's got to be some easier way for me to get my wings.
Mary!
I'm sorry, the library is closed.
Mary, it's George. Don't you know me?
I don't know you. Let me go.
Mary, please don't do this to me.
Get
Mary,
away
please.
from me.
Help
Help.
me. Where
Somebody
are her
help me,
kids?
please.
Mary!
Clarence.
Oh, where is he, Joseph? Where's George? I'm afraid I've lost him, so...
You knew you shouldn't have let him see Mary. Now the police are looking for him. They think he was trying to hurt her.
Oh, Joseph, I'm not even gonna get one wing, am I?
You have one more chance, Clarence. Get over to the bridge by the river. I think George has seen just about enough.
The bridge. The bridge? Oh, Joseph, thank you.
Clarence! Clarence! Clarence, where are you?
I'm here, George.
Clarence, help me. Just get me back. Just change it back. Help me.
George. I'm not the one who can help you.
Lord, I don't care what happens to me anymore. Only get me back to my wife and my kids, please. I want to live again. Please. Oh, please. Please just let me see them again. Please. Please.
Hey, George, is that you down there, George?
No, Bert, now get out of here. Just get out of here. But you get one step closer and I'll
What in
let you
Sam
have
Hill
it.
you yelling for, George?
Come, George. Bert, do you know me?
No, yeah, I've been looking for you all over town. Where you been?
Bert, I'm alive again. Bert, I'm alive again.
Yeah, George, you're alive. Your mouth's bleeding, though.
Oh, my mouth's bleeding. Look at there's blood coming out and everything. Susan's Christmas bell and her petals. I had them in my pocket, Bert. I had them in my pocket all along. What do you know about that? Merry Christmas, Bert. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too. Get in the car and I'll drive you home.
Oh, you will? You will? Oh, you do that? Oh, turn the sirens on wide open, huh? Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls. Merry Christmas, you old building and loan. Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter. I'm alive again. Merry Christmas. Yippee! Oh, what's going on in here? What are all these people? Reporters. Oh, Merry Christmas, reporters. Oh, hey, it's the bank examiner. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
George, I've got a little paper here for you. I'm sorry.
I'll bet that's a warrant for my arrest,
Yes,
isn't it?
sir.
How wonderful. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, you know, this beautiful, drafty old house. Have you seen my wife? Hey, where's Mary? Oh, kids. Oh, Pete, Jamie. Oh, I could eat you kids up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you, Daddy, with Uncle Billy.
Oh, Zuzu, my little ginger snap. How do you feel?
Great, Daddy, not a smidge of temperature.
Not a smidge of temperature. Hallelujah.
George, darling.
Mary,
Oh, George, darling, where have you been? Oh, George,
real.
George.
You have no idea what's happening.
Oh, you have no idea what's happened either. They're on their way here.
Who's on their way? The police department? The FBI? The National Guard? I don't care, Mary. I'm alive
Oh,
again.
yes, darling,
I'm
yes.
alive.
Now close your eyes and come on downstairs.
Wait, what's going on? Can I open my eyes yet,
Now
Mary?
keep your eyes closed. I'll just walk you over here, by the Christmas tree.
There's a lot of people here. What's going on?
Just 1 minute now. We're all ready, Uncle Billy. Come on in, everybody.
George, just look.
Uncle Billy?
Money, George. A laundry basket filled with money. Money for you. Mary did it, George. Mary did it.
I don't understand. What money?
People heard you were in trouble, darling. These people, your friends. They've collected this money for you. The $8,000.
This is Charlie and Martini and Mr. Gower. How are you, Mr. Gower? And Mrs. Thompson and Ed and Tom and everyone.
None of us would have a roof over our heads if it wasn't for you, George.
Oh, that's just wonderful. But Mary, oh, look who's coming in. Mother and Harry. Hey, Harry.
Got Mary's telegraph, George. I flew in as fast as I could.
Hey, everybody, a toast. How about a toast?
Good idea, Ernie. A toast to my big brother, George, the richest man in town.
Daddy, my Christmas bell, my petals, you didn't forget.
Forget? Of course not. Here's your bell, sweetie.
Oh, Daddy.
Darling, what's this on the table here? What's this book?
Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Well, look, there's something written in it.
Dear George, remember that no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
Clarence?
He's a very dear friend.
Daddy, Mrs. Welsh says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right, Zuzu. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence, attaboy. Happy landings.
This has been It's a Wonderful Life. We'd like to thank our sponsors, our cast, and especially you, our wonderful audience, for being a part of this inspiring show. Once again, we find ourselves in the midst of the Christmas season. What better time than now to be reminded of the value of an individual life? In today's world, it is all too easy to be caught up in the hustle and bustle of society's expectations. Instead, let us be caught up in service to others. Let us lose ourselves in loving those around us, and let us remember that if we wish to see a brighter world, the responsibility lies within each of us to be the light. Every soul is of immeasurable value. Just as George Bailey's light influenced countless lives for good, we see within ourselves the ability to illuminate countless others, continually casting out the darkness, for darkness cannot exist where light is found. May the light of mankind shine forth this season and throughout the years, and may we always remember and feel of his love, our Savior, the light of the world. God bless you, and good night.
Bah, humbug.